Most men lose attraction the moment they begin to care too visibly. The more they chase, the more they explain, the more they seek reassurance, the faster they become forgettable. And this is not because affection is weakness. It is because human nature is drawn to what feels scarce, controlled, and self-contained. More than 500 years ago, Machiavelli understood something most people still fail to grasp. Power does not come from pursuit. It comes from restraint. And nowhere is this truth more visible than in attraction. Because detachment is not indifference. It is power without desperation. And today, we uncover why detachment creates attraction, according to Machiavelli. Part 1. The psychology of scarcity. Human beings are instinctively drawn toward what feels difficult to possess, not because they enjoy suffering, but because rarity creates value. Machiavelli understood this principle deeply. He observed that people often desire most intensely what remains just beyond their reach. The moment something becomes overly available, its perceived worth begins to collapse. This is why constant pursuit often destroys attraction. When your attention is always available, when your emotions are predictable, when your presence can be summoned at any moment, you communicate one thing: there is no scarcity. And what lacks scarcity rarely inspires pursuit. Detachment interrupts this pattern. It introduces uncertainty, and uncertainty sharpens attention. The human mind becomes fixated on what it cannot fully predict. This is not manipulation. It is simply psychological law. Part 2. Neediness reveals weakness. Machiavelli believed that power depends heavily on perception. People respond not merely to reality, but to what reality appears to be. And nothing destroys perceived power faster than visible dependency. The moment your happiness appears tied to another person's validation, you surrender psychological leverage. You reveal that your emotional state is no longer self-governed, and dependence is rarely attractive. Why? Because attraction requires tension. It requires the sense that the other person possesses an inner world that does not revolve around external approval. Neediness signals the opposite. It tells the world, my stability depends on your response. Detachment says, my peace exists with or without your attention, and that difference changes everything. Part 3. The power of emotional self-control. Machiavelli admired one quality above nearly all others: self-mastery. The ability to govern emotion rather than be governed by it. Most people react instantly. A delayed message creates anxiety. Silence creates panic. Distance creates overthinking. And in these moments, they reveal their lack of control. They double text. They seek reassurance. They chase explanations. But the detached man remains still. Not because he feels nothing, but because he refuses to let emotion dictate action. This restraint communicates something powerful: inner authority. And inner authority is magnetic, because people are instinctively drawn to those who appear fully in command of themselves. Detachment is emotional discipline in visible form. Part 4. Mystery intensifies attraction. Machiavelli understood the strategic value of mystery. He knew that what remains partially concealed often holds greater power than what is fully exposed. Why? Because the unknown activates imagination, and imagination amplifies desire. When every thought, feeling, and intention is constantly revealed, there is nothing left to discover. The intrigue disappears. The tension dissolves. Detachment preserves mystery. It creates space. And in that space, curiosity grows. People begin asking questions. What is he thinking? Why is he so calm? Why does he not react like everyone else? And the moment curiosity appears, attention follows. Attention becomes fascination, and fascination becomes attraction. Part 5. Detachment is not coldness. This is where many misunderstand the lesson. Detachment is not emotional emptiness. It is not cruelty. It is not calculated distance. Machiavelli never advocated meaningless coldness. He understood that effective power requires balance. True detachment means caring without clinging, feeling without surrendering control, being present without becoming dependent. The detached man can love deeply, but he never places his worth in another person's hands. He remains rooted in himself, and this inner stability creates trust because people feel safest around those who are not controlled by emotional chaos. Part 6. Why people chase. What does not chase them? There is a paradox within human nature. We often value most what appears least desperate for our approval. Why? Because non-neediness signals abundance, and abundance implies value. Machiavelli understood that those who appear self-sufficient are often perceived as possessing hidden strength. When someone senses that your life is already full, that your identity is already complete, that your peace does not depend on them, their perception shifts. You are no longer seeking validation. You become the standard against which validation is measured. And this creates attraction, not because you are playing games, but because true self-sufficiency is rare, and rarity attracts. Outro. Machiavelli understood something timeless. The strongest position is always the one least dependent. In attraction, this means detachment, not emotional withdrawal, not indifference, but disciplined self-possession. Because the moment your peace depends on another person's response, you surrender power. But when your presence remains calm, centered, and whole, with or without attention, you become unforgettable. Detachment does not push people away. It reveals that you do not need to pull them closer, and often, that is exactly what makes them come toward you.